We're going in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show where we are all friends and friends love each other. I'm your host, Ryan Knightsey, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, legend, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing today?
Hey, how would you feel if Taylor Swift was on this podcast with you?
I think that would be massive numbers. Now, is she just on the show, or is she like dating one of us, like a Travis?
I don't know. I just felt the need to ask, since we had to ask Io Shirai the same thing about facing her last night. So I just felt like it was a pretty normal thing to ask about to people. That is a very necessary question to ask. But I'm doing great.
Beyond that question, I'm doing great.
yeah. I wanted to start off with something topical. That felt pretty topical.
I mean, yeah. If I was, that's not even a question you ask like Io Sky. Like, if anything, sure, I could see an argument to asking that to like Triple H. You know, like, and of course his answer would be like,
"What would you think if you faced Taylor Swift?" You are retired, but when you come out of retirement,
you're retired. And if you took one bump, your heart will explode, probably. I mean, he would certainly love to have Taylor Swift in the ring to do a match, sure. But Io Sky's response: "Are you nuts?"
He'd also love to be loved by Vince, but here we are.
He'd also love to be loved by alleged, rumored his wife or not, but you know, that's just rumors. That's the start of our show.
Yeah, he can have his global localization all he wants.
Yeah, it's starting. I think it's. I don't know.
Sure,
if it's
it is. You know, it really went well last time.
Yeah. That's true. You know, it's global localization, you know, so there's like Japan and there's Europe, and then they've always wanted to go into like the like Latin American market. I don't know why Latin America, not just like
Noah and AAA now.
Yeah. My theory on how global localization will be is WWE will attempt to buy Noah and AAA, and then we'll go from there.
And they'll fail, because no one wants to see either of those two promotions as is.
You're telling me? Oh, we already went into this. Well, let's talk about the AAA side. You're telling me WWE superstar Psycho Clown will not be over?
No, probably not.
Who from AAA would honestly do great in the WWE environment?
No one.
Legitimately, I'll say Sam Adonis. I think he actually would do fairly well.
He would do nothing. He's a jabrone.
I don't even know who is on the quote-unquote...
They got Dragon Lee. They already got the one guy that they need.
That is true. What about, you can... I mean, technically, I guess you can get Vikingo, Black Taurus, Laredo Kid. I guess you could technically get those people.
I'm not going to sit here and act like charisma-less Vikingo's going to do anything.
What about, Willie Mack? Do you think they'll finally bring in Willie Mack?
No. See, this is no. This is all failure.
What about Daga? Do you think they'll finally get Daga after all these years? What about I don't know. What's another guy? What's a Blue Demon Jr.? They bring it in Blue Demon Jr. Are they bringing in Chessman? Are they bringing in I saw Kenny Omega? That's not right. That's not correct. No, I don't think they're gonna be bringing in.
AAA is awful.
Yeah, all the people that are.
It's okay.
It's
okay if we lose them.
All the good people in AAA are pretty much taken already. Like in terms of like going to other promotions already. So I don't really know how soon after AAA, WWE buying AAA, do you think they get rid of all the mini wrestlers?
Immediately.
Yeah, I don't think WWE is into mini wrestlers anymore. It is what it is, I guess, folks. Well, that's not really the start of the show we planned on having to talk about WWE purchasing AAA and Taylor Swift and wrestling. But that's Ring Post Radio. We get things thrown at us all the time, and we bounce off the ropes and give the news a lariat.
Bounce off the ropes.
Is that anything? I do have a question for you, Scotty, and that was
not anything.
So
not anything. You tried.
Well, I do have another question for you, and it was just that I wrote down. I'm trying to come up with more names for our fan base. Last week we talked about potential nicknames we can give to people that listen to the show. We had the Ringers, we had the Radiohead, we had the Posties. What about I wrote down the Ring Boys. What about the Ring Boys? Is that something?
No, because what if there happens to be a woman listening, or
that's true,
a non-binary listening?
That is true.
Yeah, we don't want to. We want everyone to listen. This is a I had the word on my tip of my tongue and I lost it. This is a everyone is allowed to listen and enjoy and be part of the Ring Post Radio family, because like you said, this is a show where friends love each other or something at the top of the show.
That's fair.
And I will take your soul.
Yeah. So Ring Boys too gendered. Too gendered. I'll write that as a note. All right, too gendered.
We'll just call them the Ringers.
The Ringers. That seems to be the lead right now. I like Radiohead, but again, I think that's copyright.
I don't care
issues.
about the Ringer. They can't take it. They can't own the word.
What if we just called our fans the Post Wrestling Heads? Is that fine?
That I don't think we can call them that. I think that's definitely. Let's just call them something egregious. Let's call them the Swifties.
Now no one's using that.
No, not at all.
No one's using that at all. Well, we'll figure it. We'll come up with an answer at some point.
We'll call them the Evilers.
I think that's too much on the tongue.
The Torturers.
Hold on. Hold on.
Anyways, let's get to our regular.
Yeah, we'll come up with. We'll continue to come up with a name.
Speaking of torturers, let's talk about WWE FASTLANE 2023.
Well, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got FASTLANE. We got New Japan has 2 shows coming up this week. There's a big time Tuesday clash happening, of course, this Tuesday. Then we got other news as well. The continued Punk watch. Do you want to start off with FASTLANE, or do you want to get into some news? Let's just rip off the Band-Aid on FASTLANE. I think you're right. Let's
ride in the FASTLANE.
Let's just rip off the Band-Aid of FASTLANE. This was a show, of course, taking place in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I'll say this: I've never, I think WWE is doing a good job to really emphasize between their A shows and their B shows, as of late. And I think, for me, I would say that this was a prime example of a B show, if I've ever seen one.
This was a, this was a house show that aired.
I mean, other than the tag title change, I could probably agree with that.
Oh, 100%. This was like the most. Oh, it was just such a weak attempt at putting a show together, and it worked. Of course it does, because like this is what they do. They have 5 matches on the show.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because. That was a thing that Nick Khan has sort of stated, that they wanted to go towards less matches on a show. And the fact that all these matches have 10 plus minutes each, most of which are, I don't even know what the average for this is. We got 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 17, and 28-minute matches, right?
Mathematically in my head, that's about,
I don't know,
15, 16-minute average.
So we're talking like, longer matches, of course. And, that's, in theory, that's a good thing. But I think the WWE style doesn't necessarily necessitate longer matches per se. But I think it's more indicative of like, this is like a 5-match card with a bunch of matches. This just felt like a takeover. You know what I mean? Like this is a takeover-esque card right here, if I've ever seen it.
I think it's okay for like their B shows. But I think there's a perfect medium between what AEW does with their pay-per-views and their amount of matches and what WWE does, and we need to find it. And I
Yeah.
think it's like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the perfect number for a pay-per-view. Because like
14's too much.
because WWE's problem is that they do the 5, but they stretch it out so much. So it's like I'm just sitting there waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
At least yesterday, like the matches were longer and the whatever they were doing, but it was like, oh my god, let's go! And then with the 14 matches, you get absolutely gassed by the end of the show. Like you're just exhausted by then.
Yeah, it was they still have to fill up a 3-hour show. So whatever time this took up was maybe an hour plus. I don't think we're stretching it to 2 hours. I can do the math in a minute, but yeah, this is probably a 90 minutes of wrestling, probably roughly. A little over 90 minutes of wrestling for a 3-hour show. So much. It takes like 15 plus minutes in between matches. It just takes forever, and I really don't enjoy that at all. And that's one of my biggest complaints about WWE at the moment in terms of the pay-per-views. I got many complaints about it, but one of my biggest complaints is just like it takes so long to get match by match. Is that it feels like, and granted, some of that is meant to like establish continuity and stuff with the video packages and make everyone up to date and all these things, and that stuff's important, I guess, for the WWE audience. But it just 15 minutes roughly to in between these matches, and it is like there's no flow. The matches happen, and then 15 minutes later we get some entrances, and then that takes however long.
Peacock, baby.
It just takes forever. It just really takes forever. And I get it. I guess also part of it is commercials for Peacock.
It's pretty much all because of that.
Yeah. I don't...
Those commercials air for a little bit.
Yeah.
A lengthy amount.
Yeah. I don't quite...
Because now they've accepted, they just go on and they're like, yeah, so for our higher subscribers, you get to watch how we got here.
Mm-hmm.
They literally say that on the broadcast now. I'm like, okay, well, at least you acknowledge that I have to sit here for the next 10 minutes doing nothing. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's quite the thing. But let's get to the actual show itself. The only other news coming out of the pre-show, I guess you say, there was no matches there, but we did see officially our first look at Jade Cargill making her on-screen debut for WWE in the pre-show. She went out of a very nice car, walked out, talked to Triple H, and then just kind of went off her business. And that was it. That's all we saw of Jade Cargill. She never showed up on the show at all. She only showed up on the pre-show for that little bit. So Jade Cargill, she's coming in, and it definitely feels like she's going to the main roster at this point.
Yeah, why else would you show up to a pay-per-view and not go to the main roster?
Great point. You got me there, Scotty.
Thank you.
But we have, of course, the proper show here. First match on the docket here was the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso sort of getting a surprising win over the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, to become your new Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. What did you think about this match, Scotty?
It was an underwhelming match that ended up being the best match of the night.
Yeah, it was. I think I kind of like the main event just a little bit more. Even then, it wasn't too great.
I am so out of Shinsuke Nakamura WWE matches. I fell asleep.
That's fair.
I literally fell asleep during that match. Yeah. I saw the nunchucks. I was like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah, we'll talk about him more in a minute. But yeah, this match I thought was like a very solid like TV main event opener. You know what I mean? Like this was like, yeah, this is pretty good. You know, solidly put together, solidly booked, solidly produced. No qualms about how it's put together. we're furthering the divide and story of the Judgment Day, and we're taking the titles off of them. So, yeah, it's fine. But that's all I got to say on it is that, like, we're furthering stories. We got Finn Balor and JD McDonough sort of against Damian Priest at this point, and it's just more division. And then Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso get the win. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's fine, but I don't know if
What the show did? This show just benefited off four wrestlers being unbelievably hot for WWE in 2 matches.
I can fully agree with that point. Go ahead. I fully agree with this point.
That was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, who are out of this world. Like, Jey Uso is so over, it's actually terrifying. Not because I dislike Jey Uso. I think he's the better Uso, as is. And I think he's usually pretty solid. But between these two and then John Cena and LA Knight, they just had to do the basics. That's all they had to do, and it would work. And it did. I watched them do a heat segment for like 90 minutes in the other tag match. And did it matter? No, because the moment LA Knight got tagged in, they lost their freaking shit. It's so simple sometimes. Like I can complain all I want because, yeah, I want great matches or whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's that simple, you do it.
Yeah. And, for an opener, I can accept this. You know what I mean? Like, I'll accept a fine, good match, for an opener. I would love a great match. But,
I always would love a great match. But
I would love a great match. I'm a wrestling fan.
But WWE can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because it's working right now.
And, and if WWE is all about the storytelling, then in terms of their audience, they succeeded in that. They furthered stories. Obviously, the meme of Cody's story finally ending by getting the title, we all thought he was going to get.
Oh yeah. Well, here's what I will say about this match. This match now sets up a lot of story for them. You're gonna obviously have Kevin and Sammy wanting the tag titles back and not trusting Jey Uso, so you should get a great match out of those 4. Which is a bright side of this. You also get Cody on SmackDown.
Yep.
Without having to, like, at any time. He can go on SmackDown any time, which he pretty much already did. However,
now he can successfully do it.
Can just go there because he has a belt, as well as Jey Uso, which I think fits their story more. So I think that's a good aspect for them as they move forward in all the stories that they're telling. But yeah, I have no problems with this. I think all the tag team matches they do, it's fine.
Yeah, and I think ultimately down the road, I would probably, if I were to throw a dart in the air, probably try to land it around Royal Rumble. This will just set up also Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, for the tag titles. Roman comes back. He's like, blah, blah, blah. You've crumbled the bloodline while I've been gone. It's like, Roman, why were you gone in the first place? You were on vacation. You gotta win back those tag titles from your brother, yada, yada, yada. And so, it's just going to get to that. And then now you can sort of lean towards Cody and Roman again if they want to go finally towards that pathway, unless for whatever reason The Rock is able to make WrestleMania.
Oh, it ain't happening, brother.
Or
it was happening for like a second there, but after what Cena said last night, it ain't happening.
It's either that or some Punk stepping in and saying, can I have the main event, please?
Who you calling a punk?
Who you calling a punk? I'm Dirty Dom. Fine, good match. Set up more stories for WWE. It's a B show. Am I expecting great matches? Maybe I shouldn't in a B show. Maybe it's a conversation about realigning what I think WWE B shows are. Because, like, if you aren't going to give me great matches, they at least set up and continued a bunch of stories. So I guess I'll accept that.
You know what the problem is? I'll tell you right now.
Hit me.
they don't put Gunther on these shows.
That is true. We did lose something. No Gunth.
Because they know he's gonna he's gonna outshine their world champion.
Yeah.
That's why they don't put him on these shows. I'm not even like slightly kidding either.
No, I can believe that. I can believe that.
That is 100% why they waste all of that guy's matches on TV so that Seth Rollins' main events can like be seen as better. But quite frankly, unless you're putting Seth Rollins against like, I don't know, not Shinsuke Nakamura in the year 2023 in a WWE ring, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There was no reason to have Gunther versus Tommaso Ciampa on Raw this week, especially when there was 5 matches on this card. 5.
But Scotty, I ask you, weren't we all excited for the return of DIY?
Yes, I was. Thank you for asking, because I love DIY. Did I happen to forget that was happening? Yes. Was I happy to see them? Yes. Will I care in a month? Probably not. But for one moment, I cared. They also have like this ridiculously bad theme song for Johnny. So it's like, oh, sick. I saw the video of him running out. I was like, huh? Who the hell is this guy?
I like how they cut away right before they actually do all their stuff. I think that's funny to me.
Shout out to TV and stuff.
Shout out to burying Johnny Gargano. Anyways, let's move on. 6-man tag team match. Latino World Order. Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and X defeat Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Who was that X? It was a 3-on-2 match for the majority of it, with Rey Mysterio just getting beaten down pretty much the entire time. But suddenly, who makes the save? It's the third person that Rey Mysterio called on. The guy that has been signed since January, I want to say?
No, not January.
When was Payback?
He came in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but when was that show?
That was after WrestleMania.
So May?
Like May.
Yeah. So he's been signed since May, haven't been used, just kind of waiting on the shelf. Little Dusty man himself, Carlito, arrives to make things even and help his team get to the win. So Carlito is back. He is seemingly part of the LWO. And that's what do you think of this match itself?
Speaking of terrible theme songs, they gave Carlito one.
Yeah, real bad.
Like really bad. Like they have one job, it was just to keep the theme song.
Are Jim Johnson's residuals more expensive than Def Rebel's paycheck? Is that what this is?
Probably.
I guess, yeah, I guess they. I mean, does even Jim Johnson get residuals? I guess that's actually a legitimate question that we should ask.
Well, if he doesn't, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
Whatever. Carlito looked good. Carlito's absolutely gigantic now. Like he's ripped, big dude. I think he's gonna be just fine. I always like Carlito. I think he's a good player. He's a good player. He has strong matches. His backstabber looks great when he hits it. Oh, no complaints about bringing in old Carlito. I'm actually shocked he's been gone for so long.
Yeah, they just had nothing to do with him for so long, and I was just like, just put him with LWO. What are we doing? I like bringing him in as the heavy for the LWO. You never would expect it, but he is now the heavy of the LWO.
Good for him, as he should be. He got released from WWE in 2010.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Like, it's just so random. He was gone for that long,
and then popped up at the Royal Rumble
in 2021,
and then popped up again at Payback.
Did a TV show.
Yes, did one match the next night. Yep.
And then he just disappeared for good again.
Mm-hmm.
Really weird.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy, an interesting man in this WWE context. But hopefully they continue to use him. I guess that's the more of the hope. I will say though, I do have some concerns for Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro.
Did you know that when he got released, he went to the Inoki Genome Federation?
Of course. Who else?
He fought Kendo Kashin in a 4-minute and 30-second match.
That sounds awful. That sounds
Might
bad.
need to find
it. Yeah, we might have to hunt that one down. Carly, I was gonna say that I feel sort of bad for Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. The fact that Carlito's coming in, feels like Dragon Lee's on the main roster and kind of aligned with the LWO. I don't know. It feels a little bloated. It feels like those guys are down.
Dragon Lee.
I want to say that those guys feel down, super down on the bottom rung of the LWO, and I'm concerned with how long they are going to be. I'm concerned they're going to get the 2010 Carlito treatment, if you get what I'm saying.
It already was pretty bad for them, so I mean, it's just getting worse. My whole take on this, and this has nothing to do with them or the LWO, I just want to be able to talk about Dragon Lee because I don't have time to talk about Dragon Lee otherwise, is that he might have had the best main roster matches out of Dominic Mysterio and Austin Theory in the past 2 weeks combined, in his first 2 weeks on the main roster.
That's how you know he's a great wrestler.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, Dragon Lee is still phenomenal. Like, I know a lot of people, when he went to WWE, everyone was like, oh, he's not going to be good anymore. It's all over. Yeah. No, he's still phenomenal.
He's
changed things up. He's doing like all LIJ stuff, which is very funny.
Yeah.
He's just taking like half of Naito's moves. He's like, yeah, these are mine now. And I think that's like, all right, cool. I don't care. Yeah, he's retained pretty much everything that made Dragon Lee special, and it has put him on the main roster pretty much the moment he had a shot.
Yeah. I'm into it. I'm loving it. That's what they need to be doing over here at the old WWE headquarters, is having people that stick out, and then those people that stick out and retain their specialness become stars. It's insane how quickly you can become a star if you just maintain what made you special outside of the WWE system. Look at Cody Rhodes. Look at Dragon Lee. Look at Jade Cargill. Walks out of a car and everyone's like, holy shit, that's a star. It's just, without changing anything, it's like, it kind of proves that how much of a star you can become outside the WWE system, and then when you go back in, you're just automatically elevated to the top echelon. It's like, stars are out there, and the WWE system, I don't know how many stars they create, but like, these people walk out of the room and you're like, holy shit, that's a guy, that's a girl, that is somebody, that's the future, And Dragon Lee, he's maintained a lot of it, and I give him props for making sure he gets all that stuff in there.
The one thing that sucks about Dragon Lee getting called up is that him and Dragunov would have just been perfect. It just would have been perfect. And I don't know if Brandy's going to be on, but if he's not on Raw to face Gunta, then they're just really attacking my soul.
We'll talk about it in a moment as well, the NXT show on Tuesday. You could slap a world title match on there if you wanted to, and just do a one last send-off for Dragon Lee.
Why not? I mean, we slap everything else on these Tuesday shows like it's nobody's business.
Yeah. So why not? Why not?
You would think like Tuesday is like the biggest night in wrestling history, the way these two companies are booking these damn shows.
Well, again, we'll talk about these Tuesday shows in a moment. But yeah, Dragon Lee, he's I know for a fact that part of his contract negotiations, or part of the contract, according to, I think, Wrestling Observer, when it was announced, that he has like a thing where it's like he's going to the main roster in a year's time. So that's pretty much about now. So it seems like that main roster stuff is happening right now. So good on
him. In January, came in a little bit after that. Yeah. He's just getting there a little bit earlier. Good for him.
Hey, even better. But yeah, 6-man tag team match. It's fine. Fine little beatdowns and stuff.
It got the job done. Again, this show was all about getting the job done.
I fully can agree with that. Nothing
more, Nothing less.
Speaking of getting the job done, triple threat for the WWE Women's title match. Io Sky successfully retains her title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair after Charlotte taps out Asuka in the figure eight. The referee doesn't see it because of Bayley, and Io Sky hits the over the moonsault on Flair to get the ultimate win and retain her title. So what do you think of this triple threat?
Listen, we take the small wins here. And the small win with Io Shirai pinning Charlotte Flair in the middle of the ring. Okay? That's what we take. And we run away with it. We just take it and run.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look back. That's what we take. That is all I have to say.
I will say, though, you say we're going to take it and run, that Flair did try to tap out Asuka successfully.
Yeah, well, listen. No, they're going to somehow still protect Charlotte.
No. Well, no, I'm not. That's not just what I'm saying. I'm saying they're not only going to protect Charlotte, even though she got the pin. They're not only protecting Charlotte. Charlotte is going to come on SmackDown and say that I had the win if you guys didn't get involved. Well, and so Crown Jewels around the corner. It's going to be Crown Jewels around the corner. Charlotte Flair versus Io Sky at Crown Jewel.
Sometimes you should just kick out. They didn't kick out.
Good point. But we all know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Crown Jewel, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and maybe like a steel
Crown Jewel.
Maybe
it'll be the other one. Maybe
a steel cage match to make sure Bayley and Co are out of there.
The only reason I don't know if it's Crown Jewel is because they put one that could just be the Rhea match. Whatever Rhea's match is could be on that show instead.
Yeah, but I'm saying but there's an active story happening of this one, and Rhea's just like, whatever.
I don't care if there's an active story. I just made a whole point about Gunther having stories and not being on the show. They can put whatever they want on their shows as long as they're happy about it.
What is Rhea's?
Rhea and Nia.
That's what I was going to say. What I was like, what is it?
Just
Nia
what you
Jax?
Signed up for.
Crown Jewel, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax in Saudi Arabia. Nia Jax comes in just to get the Saudi Arabia paycheck over everybody else.
I could see that be the match there just because Rhea is obviously the most over talent.
Yeah.
And they like to give Saudi those most over talents. So
that's probably true. That is probably.
Charlotte and Io could easily just happen on SmackDown.
I mean, it still could. Well, no,
different times.
It would be. It's Saudi Arabia, so they're going to try to do as many women's matches as they can at this point. I think they had 3 last year, so they're going to do both, and they'll probably do a third or fourth. Give Natalia something.
The only reason I say I don't know about that is because they're not packing these cards anymore. This year, the difference between this year and last year is different. But since it's Saudi Arabia, I can see them trying to force 2 matches on there for sure.
That is probably actually a good point. No more thoughts about the women's title match. All right. I don't have any other thoughts on that much.
Io won. For Io.
I feel like they hid Flair very well.
Yep.
Tag team match. John Cena and LA Knight defeat the bloodline of Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. When did Paul Heyman get so old?
I don't know. I saw the Gray the other day when he was on Raw. I was like, what the hell happened?
What?
He stopped dyeing his hair, I guess.
Yeah, just all of a sudden I turn around. It's like, whoa, this guy's old. Holy crap.
I think he's legitimately probably using it for story purposes too, because Paul Heyman's a psycho and his hair's going gray with the stress of the Usos and the what's the other one? Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Solo Sikoa. That's my only guess. But yeah, he is now old. Very sad.
Yeah. Other than Mr. Heyman, John, like you said before, John Cena, LA Knight, super over, incredibly over. Everybody loves him. It almost felt like LA Knight was more over than Cena at certain points in the night.
The LA Knight popularity is insane.
It's massive. This guy was floundering in TNA Impact for years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's he leaves.
NWA.
Goes to the NWA. I think that NWA was a solid foundation, where he was able to be all right, this is all working. This can work, right?
Sure.
Solid foundation. Then he sort of turns that into an NXT deal. And that it has ups and downs. I think he felt like a weird fit, but it worked. I think. Now he's in
Sure.
the main roster as Max Dupree. Didn't work. A year later, LA Knight, arguably the hottest thing in the company.
Yeah, if he's not the hottest thing, then it's Cody and Jey Uso. That's it. Those three, and then Rhea,
True.
who doesn't do anything on any of these pay-per-views.
Well, she flirted with Jey Uso at one point.
Well, good for Jey Uso.
Yeah, this match I thought, again, like most of the matches here, very basic, put together match here. I don't have any huge opinions on it.
No. It's really hard to review shows where like it's just it's by the book. So
yes.
Very end of this show.
Everything was incredibly by the book of WWE's playbook.
Like Cena gets his ass kicked, LA Knight hot tag, they win. Babyface go home happy. That is exactly what this match was.
Yeah, I mean, even then, LA Knight gets the hot tag, and then I think Cena eventually has his moves. He does some stuff, and then LA Knight does his move, gets the win. Was it blunt force trauma? Do you think blunt force trauma is a call out to the
no,
the NWA, I believe, tag team champions?
No.
You don't want to go after those roots?
Nope.
All right, well, that's disappointing. World Heavyweight Championship match for WWE. It was also a last man standing match. Seth freaking Rollins is able to retain his title versus Nakamura. Shinsuke, bet his first name. Scotty, you kind of already talked about it a little bit earlier that you were incredibly bored by this match. Do you think this match was better or worse than their last outing of a non-gimmick type between Nakamura and Rollins?
I have very little memory of that match, but it was probably right there.
Yeah.
I really don't remember that match at all. So, to his own, I don't know. Probably not. Like it's all bad.
Can I read to you the Wikipedia entry for this match?
Please do.
And then just to give you a refresher on everything that happened, everything of importance that happened this match, real quickly.
Okay, awesome.
In the main event, Seth freaking Rollins defended Raw's World Heavyweight Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. In the end, Rollins performed a Falcon Arrow on Nakamura from an elevated platform through a table of equipment. Nakamura was unable to make his feet before the 10 count, thus Rollins retained. That was everything important that happened in the match, according to Wikipedia.
A lot quicker.
Yeah. Nakamura. What are we doing with this guy? I mean,
give him a final little run here, aka filling up these pay-per-views with him for some reason.
It just kind of like, I think they try to do. I think the Last Man Standing did the best it could to hide Nakamura-isms or lack thereof for this guy, but we talked about like Dragon Lee and all these guys coming in as stars, and we were having concerns of them just being completely deconstructed as what they once were. Nakamura feels that way completely. And it is just like, at this point, you look at the guy, you look at his output in matches, and it's just like, I don't know, man. What more do we do with him?
I don't even know if I want to say, like, I know we all say, like, Shinsuke's washed and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just like Shinsuke's WWE version isn't supposed to be Shinsuke.
Yeah.
So it's like, is he washed? I don't know. Like, even the Muto match was at least fun, right? That was fun.
Sure.
None of these are fun. These are painful. These are dreadfully boring. It's like he's a different human here as opposed to if he goes back to Japan. And I think that's just the way I have to look at it from now on. Like, it's just like, all right, I can do the minimal and it doesn't matter. And that's fine. That's fine. Go get your paycheck. I just want to point this out. Seth Rollins' pay-per-view matches, just becoming world champion or winning the world title, are his fault. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, in the year of 2023, where it's arguable that all three of them are washed up.
When do you think Nakamura's contract is out? Do you think he's biding time? But what do you think this is? It feels like these are phoned in. That's my point. Is like it doesn't feel washed anymore. It just feels like
I think he's been phoning it in anyways.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what we do with this guy. I think he's done.
He got 2 main events out of it. Good for him.
Yeah, that's true. And we again continued, and that was the other thing. And I think that was the biggest issue of this match as well. It's not just like, there's the boring aspects of Nakamura or whatever. And I think this also played into that sort of conversation of you being bored about this match is we already saw at Payback Rollins with a broken back beat Nakamura clean. In what reality is Rollins going to lose this match? The whole conceit of this last man standing match is that Nakamura now has the ability to hurt Seth Rollins so badly that he doesn't have to pin him. He can just beat him down so much. But Rollins just proved that he couldn't be beaten so badly without weapons to be down for a 3 count.
Yep.
What makes you think that adding weapons will get him to a 10?
What made this match so awful? Not awful. It was fine. What made this match just story so awful is I watched like a clip or two on TV, and it was like Seth offered Shinsuke a title match the night after, despite simply beating him.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, and Shinsuke is like, "No, when I feel like it." And I was like, "What?"
I think
you lost.
If I recall correctly, I think that was also Nakamura asking for a match originally, and maybe that night Seth Rollins accepted, and then
it just was like, nah.
And then Nakamura was that. I could be confusing that with Tiffany Stratton, which happened the exact same way with Becky Lynch.
Tiffany Stratton is better than Shinsuke Nakamura in 2023.
Oh, that is correct. But I remember that happening with Tiffany as well.
I just want to say it out loud so people get mad at me.
Well, it's true. We had a whole conversation. It's a whole clip of it. It's on YouTube. It's true. 100% true.
Yeah, we put all our stock in Tiffany Stratton. I couldn't have less stock in Shinsuke Nakamura if I tried.
Tell me Nakamura's best match of 2023, and tell me Tiffany's best match of 2023.
I'm not gonna lie to you. These 2 Seth Rollins matches are the only 2 Shinsuke matches I've seen this year, outside the Muto one. So the Muto one, that's the best one.
Let me just look. Let's look at matches for 2023 on Cage Match. See what was the best according to the Cage Matchers. I'll tell you this much. Not a lot. Not a lot right off the bat. Best match, here we go. According to Cage Match from Shinsuke Nakamura, is the Money in the Bank ladder match from July of this year.
Nick!
Other than that, it was this one at FASTLANE. Other than that,
I said at the time of that ladder match that there isn't a worse person to put in a ladder match than Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah,
and I hold true to that.
Yeah, he's in a rough year. I mean, like I said, his highest rated match right now, singles, is this last man standing match from Fastlane, according to Cage Match, and that is a 7.72 out of 141 votes. So you're talking
way too high.
That's a what, 3.5, roughly, a little more.
Higher. Yeah,
a little more than a 3.5. 3 3/4.
That's what it is.
Little, and I think it will still continue to go down a little bit as days go on. But that's not great. This guy used to have 4-star plus
I don't
classics.
expect him to have those anymore.
Oh, I know.
His WWE Shinsuke Nakamura is a how do I get by for the audience that I'm working towards, and he does it perfectly. It's not the audience that if you've ever seen Shinsuke Nakamura wrestle anywhere else,
Mm-hmm.
you know what he's capable of. So it's like night and day, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins needs a new opponent.
And I think he will get one. I actually don't know. Crown Jewel is around the corner. I have no idea what his opponent will be, other than them doing a third match. So, for no reason.
You can't do a third match when you beat someone cleanly twice.
Yeah, but like, who are you going to heat up for Rollins in what, like 2 weeks or something like that? When's this Crown Jewel?
Aren't they heating up? Well, Drew's probably too quick. Also, Dragon Lee's already listed on SmackDown.
Perfect. Yeah, Crown Jewel's November 4th, so we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. You got a month.
Oh, I got you. Dirty Dom, baby.
Woo!
Here we go.
Dirty,
NXT North American Champion.
Dirty
challenges for
Dom.
the world title.
Dirty Dom. Now we're talking, baby. That's what I need.
Who says no?
Who would say no? Not the
Who'd say no?
Not the Prince
Not me.
of Saudi Arabia. Surely not.
This is actually Ray. He just took his mask off. You're welcome.
We could bring Yokozuna back for Crown Jewel.
Oh, they're definitely gonna heat up Ricochet. I think there's a story going on there, if I remember correctly.
Ricochet. Didn't they already do a thing with him?
No, they never did the title match. They were gonna like have him maybe be involved, and then like Shinsuke killed him or something.
Oh, I see.
You're asking me things that I don't really know.
They did a fake out. Swerve.
Yeah. So it'll probably be Rick O'Shea.
Well, let's talk about some news, I guess. Let's talk about AEW and NXT. So this upcoming Tuesday,
NXT, Dom. Sorry.
We'll get to him. This upcoming Tuesday, of course, is NXT, just a normal everyday episode of NXT, double taping as well for NXT. And AEW, because of the MLW playoffs, can't happen on Wednesday, so they got moved.
Nope. MLB.
Playoffs, what did I say?
MLW playoffs.
Oh, hold on. It's the playoffs for the Opera Cup, of course. The MLB playoffs are happening on Wednesday, so they cannot air that day. So they are airing on Tuesday for a show called Title Tuesday. You know, there is only 2 titles and a number 1 contenders match happening, but, you know, that's besides the point. But it is Dynamite versus NXT yet again. The Wednesday Night Wars are now becoming the Tuesday Night Wars yet again. AEW has smoked NXT in the past, but WWE is doing everything in their power to stop AEW from getting the win. AEW's ratings are, have been on a lower standpoint than they typically are. For their television. NXT has been rising with the increases of Dirty Dom and Becky Lynch, but can they increase even more? AEW Dynamite on Tuesday is going to be Chris Jericho versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Adam Page versus Jay White, Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland in a TNT title number 1 contendership match. The wrestling debut in AEW for Adam Copeland, formerly Edge, versus Luchasaurus. AEW Women's World Title match, Saraya versus Hikaru Shida. AEW International Title match, Rey Fenix versus the returning Jon Moxley. Can NXT beat that? Let me read you the NXT card so far. Asuka versus Roxanne Perez. Asuka coming down to face Roxanne Perez.
Check 1. Better women's match. Continue.
We got Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker, but how do we make it sexy? Well, of course, we put Paul Heyman with Braun Breaker. I don't know if that makes it sexy per se, but then we put John Cena with Carmelo Hayes.
When I think sexy, I think Paul Heyman.
That is the only 2 matches announced for NXT this Tuesday. Beyond that, they also have announced a Cody Rhodes live announcement.
Major announcement.
Sorry, my mistake. A live major announcement. I would have to believe it's about the Dusty Cup. and maybe the winner of that faces them as the champions. That could be fun. That could be like a fun little pay-per-view gimmick.
Maybe you've gone too far now.
Maybe I have gone too far. Who else? You would assume Dominic Mysterio would show up. You're going to assume Becky Lynch shows up. Hasn't been announced.
Back the house, baby.
Hasn't been announced yet, but you could assume that she would show up. And then
Undertaker's gonna show up.
Yes, the most recent one, formally not announced yet, but they did do a preview promo for NXT, and it ended with Undertaker's gong, not his dong, his gong, and he is believed to be showing up on NXT this Tuesday. So, not a match card loaded up for NXT, but the stars are out tonight. Or rather, out Tuesday. How do you think Tuesday's gonna go down, Scotty?
I think it's gonna be 2 shows that I don't know. I don't really have any complaints about 2 companies trying to put on a good show. I think that's my biggest problem with the online discussion about it. It's like, oh no, we're getting good wrestling shows. Damn it.
Yes.
I wish we were getting the minimum effort instead. That would have been so cool. I have no problems with this. I think WWE probably has to win now, though.
Yeah.
You put John Cena on there, you have to win now.
You put John Cena, Cody Rhodes,
everything else was fine, but once they put Cena on there, I was like, well.
They played their hand.
you guys pretty much did. All right, we're gonna put Roman Reigns on our show, except actually it's gonna be John Cena.
Yeah,
like that's insane.
You know what's funny to me is that the SAG strike might end on Monday, and then Cena shows up on NXT, and that's his last appearance.
Good for Carmelo Hayes.
Hey, yeah, get it. Get it while you can.
If I have, there's no problems I have with this. None. Zero. Actually, no. I have one complaint, Dynamite. Why do you always have to have one extra match? Like, it feels like you have a perfect card, and then you're like, Chris Jericho. I'm like, God damn it, why?
Well, I'll tell you why. Is because Chris Jericho is still a draw for them. We got to have our draws. All the draws. All
right, then cut Edge.
Well, you just signed him, and it's his wrestling debut, so presumably
I don't care. Cut Edge.
They're not going to cut Edge.
That's the match I don't care about the most.
Well, can we talk about that for a moment? We kind of talked about it in our Slack chat. They have all this. Have all the draws out. Chris Jericho, Adam Page, Bryan Danielson, Swerve, Jay White are upcoming draws as well. Adam Copeland is not necessarily a proven draw in AEW yet, but it is his wrestling debut, so maybe. Shida Saraya, maybe, and then Jon Moxley. He's
Edge is a hell of a draw on the YouTube.
That's true. That's certainly true. But then you got Jon Moxley. You got all the draws out. God, it seems like there's somebody missing. Maybe one, or maybe at least
on the show.
Maybe a guy at least missing on.
He already said he's doing a promo on the show.
Have they? Have we confirmed that? Because I haven't seen that yet.
He said it.
MJF?
Which Jay White's on the show. He's absolutely going to be on the show.
Yes. So as of press time, at the very least, as of press time, MJF. Whether or not MJF said it, I haven't seen that.
He doesn't have an official segment. That's what matters.
Yes, I would announce a segment if he's going to show up, because right now MJF is not slated. The world champion is not slated to be on this AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday. In any capacity, not a world title match, not an announced segment. Jay White is there.
Where's your shade towards Ilya Dragunov?
I agree. Where's Ilya Dragunov? And my
put him on the show just for my entertainment's sake.
My bigger complaint about NXT is that only 2 matches have been announced.
All they need, baby. That's all they need.
They have only announced 2 matches. Presumably more will get announced between now and then, because NXT they're not
going to tank.
AEW's out the mud. Presumably they have, Dynamite is, they're locked and loaded, right? NXT has time to announce more stuff, but only 2 matches is like, there's nothing here. No, where's Ilya? There's no titles here. And there's no Ilya. There's no Dirty Dom right now. There's no Becky
It's
Lynch
like they
right
half
now.
care about winning and then half don't. They're like, yeah, maybe, kinda. Oh yeah, we'll give you John Cena, but we kind of also don't care.
But we'll also give you Cody Rhodes, but no Becky Lynch. But we'll also give you the Undertaker, but no Dirty Dom.
Yeah, it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, back to MJF.
They both are weird.
It's time to breathe with the Switchblade, baby.
It's both interesting, and as of right now, both companies don't want to really hurt their champions as draws, you know?
I don't know if WWE cares as much. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I can agree with that, and I
they
think
probably haven't even thought that far.
I can agree with that. I can fully agree with that. But it does right now. It feels like, you know, let's go off the for my argument's sake. It feels like both companies.
I'll play.
I appreciate it. It feels like both companies do not want to have, on the off chance that they lose, don't want to have their world champions or any of the champions. Well, maybe the AEW less, but really the world champions be considered not draws in the kayfabe, neo kayfabe that is this Tuesday Night War. You know, you have all the other non-title draws here showing up in AEW, and then NXT you just have, like, you know, Cody Rhodes and Undertaker and John Cena, all these other guys that are meant to draw.
Which Undertaker isn't even officially announced, which makes it very fun.
No, not officially announced at all. Just the belief.
Just assume the gong will tell you something. I'm like, how am I supposed to assume that?
What do you think in the context of NXT is Undertaker showing up in? And why is it Schism?
Schism's gone.
I know. So why is the Undertaker going to find a way to bring it back, I guess? I don't know.
I have no idea why Undertaker's going to be on that show, or how he's going to be on that show, or if he should be on that show.
Oh,
but maybe I do want to talk about the MJF part.
Maybe hold on. Maybe Undertaker's not showing up as the dead man. Maybe he's showing up as a biker dude to team up with.
Only shows up,
and he's going to team up with Baron Corbin.
He's going to give a choke slam.
Yeah, that's probably true. But go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm on the MJF front because I think this is the more interesting conversation point. Not having him wrestle, because I think that's like the only way it would have made a difference
for AEW,
or saw it, like that would have been the attempt at him making a difference. Because like you can watch an MJF promo every week. He has a match that would have been interesting. But I think you're right. There is possibility here that you're trying to protect. English is not my first language. Protect your world champion.
Yeah, especially when you have MJF tweeting out that his quarter hours are typically the best. You know,
yes.
There's the argument floating out there that he's not as over, as not as hot as one were to believe. But if his quarter hours are the best, then you put him on the show. Why? Right. And you know, we all know Tony Khan loves those quarter hours. If those quarter hours are the best, you put him on the show. If you're not putting him on the show, then why is Tony Khan not putting him on the show? I think it is he thinks he's losing and doesn't want his world champion to look like not a draw.
Yes, I think that's a good point to make. It's interesting. I think there's an overall conversation about MJF going on lately. Anyways.
Yeah.
And he's acknowledged it on TV.
He's acknowledged on Twitter.
Yeah, he's acknowledged it pretty much everywhere. So I do wonder if like we do see a change. I saw one person say like maybe the best thing for MJF is an editor. Because like he just kind of goes off on his own little things on his promos now. And it's like, listen, I know you enjoy like playing with the crowd and stuff, but like, can you get to the goddamn point? I was like, I watched I'm watching weekly like Jay White fillet you now. It's just like not even close. Like Jay White gets to the point, he says what he needs to say, and we move on. You do the. If anyone's watching, this is great camera work. I'm putting the mic up, you know, because he just puts the mic up like 75 times during his promo, and I'm just sitting there like.
Or the most egregious one last Wednesday was telling the crowd what to chant
Oh
and
my
how to chant it.
god. I was like, this isn't even something Cena would do.
No.
Like, this is The Rock without being The Rock. Like The Rock can get away with it because we see The Rock once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MJF,
you can't. It's
but
just,
even peak Rock wouldn't do that.
Like, I like MJF. I think MJF's great, but this past week killed me.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, please, no more of this.
I've been reflecting a lot about the MJF conversation, and I think it's twofold. I think it is, number one, his work of late feels, as many people have been calling it, lazy in terms of his crowd reaction stuff.
He's doing what we just pretty much called that entire WWE pay-per-view.
Correct.
The basics.
The basics. He's doing it by the book, by the numbers, paint by numbers, promos. But putting him up against Jay White, a legitimately great promo, is making MJF automatically look worse. And that's not great. I think the other reason, I think it's like I think the other reason with MJF is that we have all seen, people who have been watching AEW have all seen peak MJF promos.
Yeah.
And that is the whole rivalry between him and Punk. I talked about it before in terms of Punk being a sort of Pandora's box in terms of quality, and that MJF was part of that as well. There's a Pandora's box that opened up with MJF's quality of promos. We all saw how great at promos he can be. And then when he goes out there and does tofu and tells the crowd when and how to chant, it's like, well, hold on. Where's the great promo guy that I saw 2 years ago, right? So I think it's a twofold thing. It's that he used to be great and now he's not, and then you put him in comparison to a guy who is actively great right now, and as you said, filleting him every week. So what are we doing with this guy? It's he has to change. He has to go back to where it was or evolve. This evolution of MJF isn't working and it's hurting. His baby faceness, I guess you can say, is actively hurting his promo ability, seemingly. And that is something that he needs to figure out, or that Tony Khan needs to change, because it ain't working right now, and it's working so badly that seemingly there isn't enough faith in their champion and their quarter-hour drawer to bring home the bacon this Tuesday for AEW. So I think that is a solid evidence on that case of what's happening with MJF and where he is seen for AEW in terms of a valuable asset, I guess, or as I've said before, or they're protecting him, and they feel like they might lose, and they don't want the world champion to look like not a draw, so they're just not gonna have the world champion on the show.
I think MJF is a baby face. There is like the perfect worker in there, and
Agreed.
he just hasn't figured it out yet.
Agreed.
And it can be difficult for someone who's never worked as babyface to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he is trying a lot of things, and but the problem is, I think a lot of those things aren't what most people look for when they're watching AEW.
Yeah.
Right. The Cole stuff was magic. I think, like, you like it or not, it was magic. It worked.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It's great. Like, it worked perfectly for what they were going for. However, that's gone now. Now you have to reshuffle. Now you have to get him back. And I think that hopefully by the end of this feud with Jay White, someone who goes in there, shoots from the hip,
Mm-hmm.
and is just on his game pretty much at all times,
Mm-hmm.
that will get MJF to where he's supposed to be. Like, I'm very hopeful for the rest of this feud, even after the first two things where it's pretty much been the Jay White show, right? I'm still hopeful because there's still a month to build this match, and we know MJF has greatness in him, right? We've seen it. We've We've seen it multiple times. Now it's about getting that greatness out and being consistent with that greatness. I think confidently MJF versus Jay White's going to be a phenomenal wrestling match.
Completely agree.
Not worried about that.
Yep.
It's about getting there. And I think we can get there with this being a two-sided rivalry rather than a one-sided rivalry of Jay White absolutely mashing him on the mic, which he has continuously done. And I think MJF has seen the tweets. No, I don't think. I know MJF has seen the tweets.
Oh, yeah.
I know he has seen all this stuff.
Probably read the articles, seen the tweets.
He wants to be greater.
Yeah.
He wants to be the best. I have hope that he will do all he can to get there because he is a generational talent. He should be the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he will be. I think he can be and will be by the end of this feud closer to where more people want to see him. Like he has to get darker. Like he has to get to that darker side of what has made him great.
He has to
rather than
as Edge would put it, he has to get
grittier. Grit.
The dark.
He needs the grit. But Jay White versus Hangman Page, like, just want to bring this up, like for the Title Tuesday thing. That's phenomenal, obviously.
Yeah.
I think there's a world where both Hangman and Swerve are losing their matches, and it's probably due to each other. Because Swerve versus Chris Cage doesn't make sense, and you can't have the world title challenger lose.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see where they go next because I do think, based off of what I saw MJF tweet and whatnot, he is now going to be like determined, and I think a determined MJF is the best MJF.
I 100% agree. One addition to the whole MJF conversation, if you want an additional meta commentary about everything.
I hate meta commentary on my wrestling shows.
Sure.
Which people do.
Sure.
Hopefully we can avoid more of that.
Sure. But stick with me here.
I'm with you.
Who is walking out with the title belt on Tuesday?
Jay White, baby.
Yep. Not even the world champion will have the championship around his waist. Not only is he seemingly not on the show, but the title won't even be around his waist. It's around Jay White's.
Jay White, the real world champion.
I think there's something to be said in terms of that taking place this Tuesday.
I sadly don't think they'll actually pull the trigger on Jay White.
No, me neither. I think this is all just
but they should.
I agree. Well, we said the same thing about Samoa Joe, and
I will keep saying it because I think MJF gets better as a babyface without the title.
I think if MJF can turn it around, if he can turn it around between now and November, I think I would agree that MJF should retain the title. But it to me. Fully, I felt this with Samoa Joe, and I'm going to fully say it now. If MJF continues on the path that he has been on, he 100% needs to lose the title, and we need to get rid of this guy for a little bit in the world title scene and go with Jay White, who's been killing it, actively killing it.
I think MJF losing the belt would just make him serious.
Agreed. Oh, fully agree. Yes.
He got too comfortable. Easy. Done. Like, even after he got his ass kicked on Dynamite, his mini promo about like, you want the match, you got it, like that was so much better than the rest of it because like he was angry, and MJF angry is far more MJF.
You said that, but he also squeezed in a little tofu in that anger too.
I didn't remember that part. I try to forget every time he says tofu.
They're at this point they're valuable. There is a valuable for podcasting content. I think, do you have a prediction? I know you don't necessarily care about it, but do you have a prediction in terms of, when I say you don't care, I mean more so you're excited for two great wrestling shows. But
NXT wins.
Yeah, I fully think NXT's winning. I think if
NXT's getting hot lately as is.
I think NXT is losing The world where I think NXT is winning. The world where NXT loses and AEW gets the win is a world I would love to be in. I think it'd be hilarious. But it will explode everything.
I would call WWE
Wednesday.
smart for this. They were very we say they packed the show and if they lose they're doomed, but they packed the show in a way that's well, John Cena's only a manager.
Yes.
Well, we didn't announce the Undertaker.
Well, Cody's just announcing something.
Yeah, they did if one of those people were wrestling, it'd be one thing, but they're not. So they were well, if we lose, did we really mess up?
Yeah, that goes back to the point of the start of the conversation with both AEW and NXT. How do we attack the most while also defending the most?
Yep.
And I think not putting champions so far, realistically speaking.
Damn, WWE smart.
Yeah, seemingly. Well, I mean, again, remains to be seen. We'll see if they announce any more champions on this show. But as of right now, nothing yet. Maybe this whole conversation is lost if that happens.
It'll be a first.
Speaking about real world champions and speaking about people plopping up all over the place, CM Punk. We're on CM Punk watch, apparently.
Popping up all over the place.
He's popping up all over the place. So according to Dave Meltzer, written in the Wrestling Observer last week, I want to say, regarding CM Punk, there is obviously tons of talk regarding him returning. There have been rumors that it's happening, but those in WWE have only said that no deal is completed, and those close to Punk have told us that it is his intention to return, and the two sides are in talks. So WWE sort of denies that there's any sort of deal completed, and Punk says that they're talking and that he intends to return to World Wrestling Entertainment. I guess number one, it's always Punk, so we always have to ask the question, how realistic do you think these comments are? And number two, what is the likelihood that CM Punk returns to WWE?
I think they're very, very real.
Ooh.
I think there is more than a good chance CM Punk runs back around and ends up in WWE at the end of all this.
Wow.
Because one, I think he's spiteful. Two, I think WWE's spiteful. And three, Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk might be the end of Tony Khan. The poor guy.
That might be true.
I feel so bad. Because if they run that, it's you're just watching it and you're man, how did this happen? Right? Remember back in 2021, All Out, all of them were on the same show.
Mm-hmm.
Now here we are. Now one of them's the biggest star of WWE. The other one's he would be if he was back. If you want to get a percentage out of me, CM Punk shows up, I'm going to go 66%.
Ooh. More than likely.
There's still CM Punk. There's still CM Punk here. Nothing's for sure.
No, he is always a gamble.
But I think it's more likely than not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's certainly more likely. It's going to be interesting if he does go to WWE behind the scenes, because how much, I think Phil Brooks, and I say Phil Brooks, not CM Punk here. I think Phil Brooks if he goes to WWE, is going to come in already on edge based on how he left the relationship with WWE.
Oh, yeah.
And that edginess for Phil Brooks might already be putting things on the wrong foot for him. It's just a question of, can he even get into the door? I think WWE. I think he can get through the door. I think WWE recognizes that he is still a big name. He's still a draw. He proved in the past couple of years with AEW that he can still be a draw. Whether or not he can still be a draw in WWE, that remains to be seen, but I would presume that would hold. And money's money. If The Rock's not going to be at WrestleMania and Cena's not around for long, and you're not going to do Cody Rhodes for some reason, even though we're kind of teetering back that way, you could have CM Punk show up. And that's the case. That being said, obviously people started turning this into him showing up in Survivor Series and whatnot, or Royal Rumble and whatnot. I thought I heard that he had a no compete contract clause or something, and he wouldn't be able to show up at Survivor Series. But maybe he didn't. I don't know. That rumor went around for a bit. So I thought he thought he wouldn't be able to compete at Survivor Series anyways. I thought Dave said that before. Maybe I'm incorrect, but I don't know. I think it's plausible he shows up. It will be very, very interesting what happens for WWE moving forward. And I think that's another big shot across the bow against AEW. And I also say this, that I think that CM Punk, in addition to Cody Rhodes already being over there, is just going to contribute to more people considering WWE over AEW, or rather AEW wrestlers leaving AEW and going to WWE. I think I want active flow between two companies. I just think the flow will be going more towards WWE than going to AEW, with all these free agents flying all around, apparently.
Yeah, but how many of the free agents are going to bother you?
Well, that's true. Seemingly.
Osprey's not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you bring in Osprey, if AEW brings in Osprey, then great. Go for it.
You can't pay everyone. You can't push everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with back and forth at this point. Just because, this is how wrestling should be.
I completely agree.
Everyone making money, everyone looking out for themselves. If you think you're going to do better in WWE, you go.
Mm-hmm.
And based off of how they've rolled out AEW talent so far, it's hard to think you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Between Cody and Jade so far, it's here's the shiny new toy, and the shiny new toy ends up being one of their top stars. I need CM Punk in WWE just because I'm back for that sort of chaos. Yeah, we're done with the AEW Punk chaos. That was a headache. That became a headache by the end.
Yeah.
There's a whole other world, though, in WWE Punk chaos that we have not had yet.
No,
we've had it long ago.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's light the fuse, huh? Let's light the fuse. Let's see what happens. Yeah? I love the report that he's gonna apologize to Roman Reigns. I'm damn. He's gonna go acknowledge Roman before he walks back into the company.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of awesome.
He has to. That's what I mean. It's I think Phil Brooks is gonna be on edge immediately walking in the door. He needs to.
They lost Edge. They need someone on edge.
I think rather than that, they desperately need somebody. He doesn't need to be on edge. He needs to be groveling almost. Please, please, we're all cool here. I don't want any issues. I don't want any beef. It's he literally left WWE on the complete wrong foot, upsetting a bunch of people, and then left AEW by actively fighting people. So it is just I don't know how well this is going to work out for your locker room morale, but this guy needs to bring it down several notches if he's going to expect to walk back in this door. And I don't know how possible that is.
Hey, he was at WWE. He was backstage at WWE. Remember that?
Oh yeah, remember that little rumor? That little rumor that popped up.
I think if you're WWE, you try, because for WWE, it's we don't lose anything here. We'll just fire him. They don't care. You know, they're not because I think WWE so you can't hurt WWE. Only WWE can hurt WWE at this stage.
Yeah.
And even when they get hurt, Vince, it doesn't matter.
A year later, it's nothing's happened.
It's just no, they just got hot. The company got hot in the past year. Yeah, I think we're seeing a little CM Punk soon.
I never thought about that. The bit because Vince McMahon left and all that drama, you have Triple H coming in, all this stuff. The company then becomes hot. Like the Vince McMahon drama led to the hottest the company's ever been in decades.
Drama. The man retired.
Yeah, I shouldn't say drama. I should say alleged assault of various people. Yeah, he. But it is fascinating to think about how like him doing all that, having so many sexual assault allegations against him, and being forcibly fired, retired, quit from the company, led to the hottest period in WWE's history in years, and into a merger that made Vince McMahon himself millions upon millions more dollars.
He was probably thinking about how he should have did that a long time ago.
I wonder. I mean, now, I mean, well,
should I have retired before and then came back? Would I have been this rich? Would we have been this great? Man, no, he probably actually did not think that. He probably thought, "Ugh, this show sucks. I need to get back."
Maybe Rita Chatterton should have been allowed to say something on live television. Maybe the Ring Boy scandal should have. Maybe I shouldn't paid off the Ring Boy and that what was his name, Tom something. Maybe I shouldn't have paid off that guy. Maybe he should have said something.
Tom.
It's Tommy. I want to say it's Tom. I don't remember exactly. Maybe I shouldn't have paid off that guy and had him go on to Gerardo Riviera's show with Dave Meltzer and a bunch of other people.
Oh boy, Vinnie Mac,
Jesse Ventura.
Do with you?
I just read a well, I forgot the title of the book. Is it in my room here? No, I don't remember. It was like Unmaking America or something like that. It was basically a book about Vince McMahon, his early life, going all the way up to his entire career, all the way up to the higher power reveal of "It's me, Austin. It was me all along." About how Vince McMahon was shaped and how all these scandals and everything sort of shaped the WWE early on, and Vince McMahon and the character Mr. McMahon early on. Fantastic book, highly recommend. But yeah, all that stuff of the scandals and everything are fresh in my mind, and it is insane to believe that like when all those scandals happened back in the early 90s, Scotty, it actively hurt the company to the point where they were almost bankrupt. Now, all the scandals popping up again cause the hottest period in WWE ever. Does that mean America sucks? Or does that mean WWE is fine and Vince McMahon fine? Or does that mean America sucks at this and doesn't know and we're broken as a society? That's what I'll be thinking about for the next several weeks, folks. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, we probably shouldn't call our listeners the Ring Boys. That's probably a bad idea.
Well, I already got rid of that one, so you're good.
That's okay, good. Let's talk about New Japan. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's talk about New Japan.
No, it's not.
Well, the other thing we had to talk about maybe was just the WGA SAG strike, because John Cena mentioned it.
Seconds if you feel the need to do it.
Yeah, I'll just address it real quickly. So yeah, the WGA strike, I sort of already talked about, doing little updates here and there. WGA strike is pretty much over. I don't think they have officially signed their contract. No, they have. They agreed to the deal. Oh no, that was that. I don't think it's been ratified. I'm not sure if, the WGA has ratified the deal yet, but that should be soon, and I think it's 100% happening. It's going to be ratified. SAG, as far as we know it, negotiations are still happening. There is a deal happening, another meeting happening tomorrow. On Wednesday, last Wednesday, they announced that they were going to meet again on Friday and Monday. And I don't know about you, Scotty, but when I hear that they're announcing 2 more days of negotiations, to me, that's like, well, if it was going poorly, why would they announce 2 more days of negotiations? I guess it's possible that they want to get a deal when they just need more time to figure stuff out. I also think that it's totally plausible that they added 2 more days because they know they have more deals to figure out, and that Monday is going to be ironing out small details in terms of the contract. So either it's going poorly and they continuously want to get to a deal, or I think Monday could be the last day of the SAG strike, and it could end on Monday or Tuesday, and then everyone can go back to work, and then a deal would presumably be ratified, assuming the deal is good. And I assume it will be. If that is the case, as John Cena stated on the presser for FASTLANE, he's gone. He said that he let me see if I can find that quote from John Cena. But he said on the presser that he is essentially gone if the strike ends, or whenever the strike ends, which is something I've been saying online for a while. Let's see. Where is
he
that?
He can't do both.
He said that, quote, "I made it perfectly clear you can't do both." He says he would be putting people in the movie business out of work if he were to get hurt trying to do both, which is completely true. If John Cena is presumably a lead, he gets hurt, they have to delay the movie or work around the entire schedule, and the movie more than likely will get delayed in that process, meaning all the crew and everybody else are kind of, quote unquote, out of work for how long the delay is. Coming out of work, coming after the thing. And it happens all the time in the industry. Tom Cruise with Mission Impossible, right? He gets injured, or for another better example. Here's another example. Indiana Jones movie that came out this past summer. During the process of the filming, Harrison Ford got injured, delayed the project. Part of the reason that is bad is that it put the movie business out of people. Some people, lost work for however long his injury took to heal up. But not only that, but it also increased the budget for the film to make it almost like $300 million and made it a complete flop. So not only did it hurt in the immediate sense, but it hurts in the long-term sense of, I don't know if we should do another Indiana Jones movie because it cost us so much money and it was a complete flop and maybe it doesn't work anymore. So it's a future business as well. That also being said, this presumably will apply to The Rock as well. Unless The Rock was already planning on showing up for WrestleMania this April, which is unclear, he is probably also gone. Completely gone. Again, like even if he fully assumed he was taking off for April or March and April to prepare for WrestleMania, there's a 3-month delay called a SAG strike that just took place, that just delayed everything for 3 months. So if he even had that opening in place, there's no way he has that opening still, because everything just got delayed and pushed back for 3 months. So whatever, if he was, let's say he was working on something in June when the SAG strike started, it got pushed back 3 months. And, presumably that would end in February or whatever, or earlier than that, and goes into something else that ends in February. That all gets pushed back and delayed. The only thing that would not, there's realistically no way that he's making WrestleMania at this point. So SAG strike ends. That's fantastic news for everybody else. Fantastic news for me, because I can go back to work. But even so for wrestling, Cena, The Rock, they're gone completely. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I never really expected The Rock to be at WrestleMania and Royal Rumble anyways. No,
but it was fun for conversation, damn it.
Yeah, it made a good couple weeks of conversation. So
well, I think like immediately after he was on there, things just got a lot better instantly.
Yeah, I think it was like The Rock showed up at Friday Night SmackDown, and either the week following or the week after that, the SAG and studio started negotiations, and they've been going ever since.
Which is a good thing, because no one wants to keep people out of work and yada yada yada. And listen. I think we'll be fine without The Rock and John Cena. I think we all got used to life without The Rock and John Cena in WWE. If I was to say so myself. Mm-hmm. So we can still finish the story, baby.
That's true, unless of course CM Punk pops in which case the story gets delayed yet again. But remains to be seen. Let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. They have 2 shows this upcoming week. They have one show is it Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
Monday, October 9th, Destruction in Ryogoku. with a lot of news surrounding that show. And then another show this Saturday, Royal Crest 3, in the Copper Box Arena on October 14th. That show, of course, Destruction Ryogoku, available on New Japan World. Royal Quest 3, I don't think it's live on New Japan World.
Rev Pro.
But if you have a Rev Pro subscription, which we do, of course, then you will be able to watch the show live. So if you want to watch Royal Quest 3, I'm unsure again if it's on New Japan World, but honestly, just get a Rev Pro subscription. Rev Pro is a fantastic promotion. I've talked about them a shit ton in this past on this show. So I don't see any reason why not to get one. But let's.
Is it wrong to say Rev Pro is one of your top 3 favorite promotions in the world?
No, it's not wrong at all. I think it's probably AEW, New Japan, Rev Pro. Not necessarily in that order, but just right off the bat, I think that's my top 3. And of course, Terminus is 4. Of course,
MLW is 5.
MLW is 5. NWA is 6. Did you see the NWA is trying to bring back the territory?
Yeah, I actually did see that. I don't know how I saw that. I was like, "What?"
Yes, they're trying to bring back the territory.
Make it an angle.
I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know what
you can make territories on the indies, right? Huh?
That's their what is it? Was it Exclude Pro? No, Exclude doesn't seem right.
Exodus or something?
Exodus Pro, yes. They're going to make Exodus Pro an NWA territory, seemingly.
Good for them.
So
guess how many people are going to care?
Billy Corgan, 1.
That's it.
The owners of Exodus Pro, 2. What even is Exodus Pro? I'm going to look this up real quick before we even get to Japan.
Independent promotion that probably has like 25 people in it.
The Exodus Wrestling Alliance is not. They don't have a cage match. Not a good start. No.
All right, we're out. No, we're just don't even look back. Just move forward.
I'm just checking Twitter real quick. It's a Cleveland promotion. It appears.
Not that says pro wrestling like Cleveland.
Hey, that's John Moxley, baby.
Isn't he from Cincinnati?
Ohio? Yeah, Cleveland's in Ohio.
Yeah, but he's from Cincinnati.
I guess that's fair. Oh, here we go. Here's their Twitter.
Cleveland.
Here's their Twitter. Exodus Pro Wrestling. They have 269 followers on Twitter. Bad start. Incredibly bad start.
They have less than you and me.
But it could just be they have local indie, maybe just not big on the internet. They did a show called Double Down where they had NWA owner William Patrick Corgan announcing that they are becoming essentially a territory.
I don't know why I found it so funny that you just said William Patrick Corgan, but I do find it very funny that you just said William Patrick Corgan.
I mean, that is how that is his name all over the place.
That is his name.
So they're apparently on Premiere Plus, that streamer. Good for them. And their next show is December 1st, Colder Weather.
Can't wait.
So if you are in the Cleveland, Ohio area and want to see such stars as NWA World Champion EC3, who else? Angelina Love and her boyfriend. What was her boyfriend's name?
Man, I don't know.
It was like Scrum. It was like Scrum. Nobody. It was like some dumb name like that. Scrumptious? No, that's not it. It was like one word. Fable?
Scrug?
Scrug?
Scrug felt right.
Whatever his name is. Who else? Heath? Heath is on this show. Impact's Heath. Aaron Stevens. And then a bunch of local. He is a I don't know.
Okay.
He's a manager. That's what he's called.
Okay.
Exodus Pro. Well, no, I'll give him the plug. Let me give him the formal plug. Exodus Pro Wrestling returns Friday 12/1. as a regional affiliate for the NWA. It will crown its first Midwest championship, and the championship that'll be officially acknowledged by the NWA. It will be crowned through a unique 12-man tournament. Oh, that's what it is. For the first time in NWA Exodus, the NWA World Championship will be on the line as reigning champion EC3 takes on the challenge of former protege Fodder. That's his name, Fodder.
That ain't Scrugg.
Who will be accompanied by his lovely new bride, Angelina Love. There's also Heath. We'll be teaming with local... Heath will be...
Why are we still talking?
Teaming with local starlet Celeste in a mixed tag team match against the nefarious Space Cowboys, Stacey Alexander and Avery Brew. Yeah, that's it. That's all that show is. Exodus Pro. NWA Exodus, folks. Coming at you live December 1st. That is so incredibly far away. All right, well, I'm going to talk about New Japan. Scotty's gone, so I'm just going to... Oh, no, that Scotty's gone. Okay, let's talk about Terminus. So Terminus recently...
dead. It's dead. Terminus is dead. Get to New Japan.
They actually are doing a show, if I'm not mistaken, soon.
I don't care. No one cares. You don't care. You gave so much care, and then they did. Never mind. I'm not even bringing it up.
New Japan,
living in America.
Let's have a show. New Japan Destruction Ryogoku. This is Monday's show. This is tomorrow, October 9th. An interesting show in the news because kind of floating around there is that there are a bunch of non-Japanese talent, really, that are sick. Not with COVID, seemingly, but just sort of like a flu-like symptoms. They've only announced one person off the show completely, but apparently there are more people sick. So whatever happens remains to be seen. But let's talk about the show itself. Of course, first match, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Sho, and Yujiro Takahashi, House of Torture of Kents, Doki, Taichi, and X. Scotty, who is X?
Taiji Ishimori.
You think?
Yeah.
Not Yuya Uemura? Everyone was thinking Yuya.
Dude can't stop tweeting. So yeah, it's going to be Taiji Ishimori.
That could work. Just 5 guys. He needs something different. He needs to get out of the Bullet Club thing. That could work.
Yeah. Nothing excites me about Taiji Ishimori in the year 2023, but good for him.
What if this excites you? Junior Tag League, Taichi Ishimori and Doki. Think about it.
No.
Doki's in there though. We all love Doki.
It's Junior Tag League.
Great point. That is a great point. Taichi makes sense. I think Yuya is plausible, but I don't think it's happening.
I just want Yuya back.
I think everyone just really wants Yuya back. I think that's really what it is. But yeah, Taichi, that seems plausible. Who's a good outside the box pick? Last 5 years ago, who showed up in Ryogoku 5 years ago today? Shingo Takagi for LIJ. That was the X 5 years ago. Pretty cool. Do you think we'll get someone who is the Shingo Takagi? The plausible
Katsuhiko Nakajima.
Who is that?
Katsuhiko Nakajima.
Now, yeah.
That would be the Shingo Takagi equivalent.
What are the odds that he is X? It's plausible. He's a free agent.
Zero.
They're not zero.
They're not high, but they're not zero.
How would you feel if they were Nakajima? If it was Nakajima.
Pretty sick.
That would be pretty good.
Wouldn't be that upset.
No. Him and Taichi?
Junior.
Him and Taichi?
That'd be pretty good.
That's pretty good tag. I'm excited for that World Tag League.
Wait. Think of this. Katsuhiko Nakajima and Doki.
now I'm in. Now I'm strapped in.
You set me up. I just had to hit it out of the park for you.
Speaking about strapped in, Tongaloa versus Chase Owens. I don't want to steal their gimmick, but on Okada Shorts, our count out New Japan podcast, Rafe he heard the news that it was Tongaloa versus Chase Owens, and he went on, I believe, a 5-minute tirade and saying Kato should be fired about about this. So I don't necessarily want to steal their gimmick, but check out Okada Shorts, the latest episode, to hear how he reacted to that. But Scotty, how are you reacting to Tangaloa versus Chase Owens? Everyone's excited about this, right?
How do we consider New Japan an elite pro wrestling company when they're putting two of the worst wrestlers on the face of the earth against each other on one of their big shows? How do we let this happen? How do we let people say New Japan's back? This is dog shit. This is literally the worst match New Japan can book. They can't book a worse match. They can't. There's nothing worse than this. Did you watch Tangaloa in that little video of him like punching Okada? It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And you know who the worst wrestler? Like Chase Owens sucks. He sucks. This match is terrible. I will not watch this. When you ask me to review this next week, I'm going to tell you right now, I will not have seen a second of it. I will not have seen the ending of it. I will not see any of it.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, because you don't like yourself.
Out of morbid curiosity, I am going to watch this.
Like I think you have a sickness. You need to. You feel the need to watch this entire card? No, you don't need to watch this. You know why you don't need to watch this? Because these two belong in the NWA. That's where they belong. They don't belong in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
You see, God, Chase Owens would actually fit quite well on the NWA.
Yeah, because I wouldn't watch it.
I think there is one adjustment I can make. I think that's just to this match. I think you just make it a triple threat and add Yujiro Takahashi to it, and now we're cooking.
Oh, how dare you toss Yujiro into this mess?
Wait.
How?
You're pro Yujiro?
Dare you?
You're pro Yujiro?
I would rather watch Yujiro than both of these guys any day of the week. Because at least with Yujiro, I know he ain't trying. The other two are going to be trying and just suck. At least Yujiro's like...
We also had a Ibushi match of Yujiro.
Man.
We also had a Ibushi Yujiro match.
That was a great match. That is better than anything Chase Owens has ever done in his life.
You telling me you didn't enjoy Chase Owens versus Toru Yano?
And ain't nobody realer than Gorilla.
Third match.
I can't believe Tango has a singles match on this freaking show.
You know who doesn't? Anyone in this match. Bushi, Yoda Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito, all against Jeff Cobb, Great Khan, Hanare, and Callum Newman. Jeff Cobb, by the way, he was a name I saw float around as being sick. But he hasn't been announced in any way.
Get used to the new United Empire. Ain't pretty.
Yeah, so Callum Newman. I mean, I'm definitely gonna be watching this just because I want to see how Callum Newman does in this sort of spot. Bushi or him are obviously eating falls or whatnot, but I'm just interested to see how he does. He's been on the tour for a little bit, so I want to see how he is. And versus Naito, Shingo, Yoda, Tsuji, those are all pretty good guys to learn from. So I'm interested in that very sense.
You think Naito's giving an effort here?
No, he's wearing a t-shirt during this match, 100%.
He shouldn't even take off the suit. Sit on the outside. Good job, guys.
You got it. You got this one. You got it. That'd be.
You can do it. Put your back into it. Do the song.
That'd be perfect.
All right. Move forward.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Match. Champions Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors defend their titles against Kevin Knight and Kushida.
You're a big Drilla Maloney guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a fairly solid Drilla Maloney guy.
I'm so sorry. That was supposed to be a joke. That was supposed to be a joke, and then you actually said yes.
I know you don't like Drilla Maloney. You're the non-Drilla.
He's terrible.
Yeah, but I think he's. I think
you know who's better than? You know who's better than? Better than Tangaloa and Chase Owens.
What about Drilla Maloney versus Yujiro Takahashi? Big huge. No? Yes?
Huge over Big Juice. 2 minutes top.
But I mean, this match should be good. I mean, even if you don't like Drilla Maloney, I think he's going to give good effort. And Clark Connors, Kevin Knight, Kushida, they're all still good. Especially Kevin Knight.
Knight's great.
Kevin Knight's great. So I expect this to be very
Yeah,
good.
this should be a good, solid match.
Yeah, this should be a very good match, I think. 6-man, best of 7 series final. Master Wato.
Finally, some real wrestling.
Master Wato. Nothing screams real wrestling like Master Wato. Shota Umino and Yuji Nagata versus El Desperado, Ren Narita, and Minoru Suzuki. This is the best of 7 series final. So this will be for all the marbles, supposedly.
This is what I'm here for, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Should be great. Can't wait. I've watched, I think, every tournament match that's aired.
Really? Oh, I haven't watched any of them. Can you give me some context?
Shota and Ren are really good against each other.
Okay.
That shouldn't be a shock. Suzuki and Nagata literally just beat each other, beat the piss out of each other for 2 minutes every single time.
Perfect.
And Wato and Desperado fill their roles pretty well too. So, it's been a lot of fun. And Shota's getting better and better. Ren's really comfortable with Shota. He has benefited a lot from this being his first kind of like main story.
Okay.
It's been just it's a series of really good wrestling. That is what this is.
What's the record going into this? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it's 2-2 because I think there's 2 draws.
2 draws. Okay. So
the first match was a draw.
2 and 2 and 2.
Yeah, technically.
2.
I just was making the point that the 2 don't matter, but yes, absolutely. 2 and 2.
Okay.
Maybe. That might not be right. Actually, I think the series is. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's 3, 2, and 1.
3 being who?
Strong style. That's
Suzuki
and Narita. So they're probably gonna tie it tomorrow, and then just make this be a series of nothing.
So if they draw, then Strong Style gets the win of having 3 wins.
I don't think they have time to draw on the show, but yes.
If to formally draw, Shota Umino, Yuji Nagata, Master Wato's team has to get the win. If they win, they draw completely, and the whole thing was a good effort by all.
Yes.
Interesting. So really, they all just have to win. So they're kind of like an underdog position to just draw. So that's interesting at the very least. Strong openweight tag team title match. The champions Gabe Kidd and Alex Coughlin are making their first defense against El Phantasmo and Hikuleo.
Ugh.
Are you excited for this one? Are you excited for this one? Dogs for real?
Because I have to review it on this show, I'm going to watch it.
Great.
But negative amount of me is excited for this match.
Really? Not, Gabe Kidd? It's Gabe Kidd's in here.
I think Alex Coughlin's been awful.
Awful?
Club. And I like Alex Coughlin. But I think Alex Coughlin Bullet Club has yet to have like a great showing. And that makes me very sad.
I
don't bring me. I don't even want to talk about the challenge.
You don't want to talk about Hikuleo?
Hikuleo and El Phantasmo? Are you kidding me? What is that?
What is that? They're the Gorillas of Destiny.
Yeah.
They're second gen Gorillas of Destiny.
Oh boy! Hopefully, Coughlin and Gabe Kidd actually wrestle a real match and don't act like they don't care about losing. That'd be cool.
Huh?
What is this title? What titles are these?
The Strong Openweight Tag Team titles.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
The mighty, I believe the mighty don't kneel. Actually, never.
I just want to point. No. You're not moving forward yet. No. I have a point to make. The previous champions of these titles were Aussie Open, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Bishamon.
Yes.
And now it's the Bullet Club War Dogs, Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd.
Yeah.
One of these teams are not like the other.
Yeah, Bishamon.
How dare you?
They're the only Japanese team.
How dare you? How dare you?
Never openweight 6-man tag team titles.
Finally. the match I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I think this is easily the match of the night for me. Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Kazuchika Okada making their third defense against the Impact team of Impact World Champion Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, the X Division champion, and Impact standout, if you will, Josh Alexander.
This confirms to me that Josh Alexander was very much likely going to be in the G1.
Yeah.
So I'm very upset that he was not in the G1 and got hurt.
Yeah,
but this should be awesome.
I saw either someone said that recently, or there was like hints towards it. He actually would have probably been in it.
This is going to be the match of the night.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't think that's a hot take by any stretch.
No, I don't think this is a hot take by any stretch. I mean, Shelley and Sabin are just going to destroy Tanahashi with the tag team moves. Alexander Ishii, I mean, fucking Alexander Ishii, my guy.
And then Okada.
He's also in here. He's also in here, and he's going to do great. Okada Alexander.
Shelley would be fun.
Alexander Ishii is great. Okada Alexander. Now we're talking. That's great.
That's juicy. This match should be nothing short of phenomenal.
Okada Shelley should also be very good, just because of the history, the moves, the sort of like lucha libre training a little bit.
Hot take, all of it will be great.
Yeah, interesting. And
every matchup gonna be pretty good.
That's a very bold take to have.
I know. There's a lot of wrestling legends in here.
Yeah, speaking of wrestling legends, never
Tomohiro Ishii and Josh Alexander.
Speaking of the Wrestling Observer ballot is out, so we'll talk about Tomohiro Ishii maybe again at some point.
He should not make it yet.
No, we won't have time for this episode, but we'll discuss maybe at another point
someday. Maybe when everyone's voted in.
Yeah. Never open weight title match. Speaking about legends, Tama Tonga versus David Finlay. David Finlay.
Ryan, we've seen this 100 times already.
Yeah, it's a legendary feud.
Is there a world where this match can be good?
There's nothing, real quickly, side tangent. There's nothing I like more about Ring Post Radio than me, like, sarcastically, like, sincerely sarcastically saying something and then letting it hang in the air for maybe like a solid minute, and then you comment about how bad it actually is. I think that's where our bread and butter is buttered.
I let it marinate.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, hold on. No, this should be terrible.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. It'll be exactly like all the other ones.
It's gonna be aggressively fine. It's no hope. And you know me, I'm over here being like, Tama Tonga can have a good match. David Finlay can have a good match. I'm out on David Finlay. Tama Tonga in this pairing, don't care for it.
I'm out. There's way too many war dogs on this show. I have found the problem. There are 3 matches of war dogs on this show.
Too much Bullet Club presence.
These are not my dogs.
No, not for real, for sure. Yeah, I mean, will it be good?
No.
When I say good, will it be 3 stars? Give me over under 3 stars.
No.
I don't think no is over under 3 stars.
No. They've had so many shots. Like, what are they going to do different in this match that they haven't done the last 7 times they've had this match?
I guess Tama Tonga could slam his hands on the mat faster.
Oh my god!
Has David Finlay used the shillelagh?
What is this card? This card's awful.
Well, speaking about other matches on the show,
Sonata versus Evil. Who's asking?
We got 2 more matches to get through. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship matches 3-way. Hiromu Takahashi defending his title against Speedball Mike Bailey and Leo Rush. Ooh, sorry, what's that? 1 second. Ooh, no, Leo Rush is the only announced guy that can't not make it. He is not going to be wrestling. Instead, it is Yo in his place, tag team partner there. So it's Yo, Hiromu, and Mike Bailey.
Don't get me wrong. I like Yo. I've seen Yo have some great matches this year.
Mm-hmm.
Literally no one could have replaced Leo Rush and made me happy. No one.
That's fair.
Leo Rush is one of my favorite wrestlers at this stage of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's sucks that he's missing this match. And it sucks even more we didn't just say, all right, let's just do Hiromu and Speedball. Because at least that would have been different, right?
Yeah.
No, let's just toss Yo in there. Yo, who, mind you, was supposed to be the next challenger for this belt. So now that's not happening. So at least, hopefully, if Hiromu defends it successfully, we just get him and Lio Rush again.
One-on-one. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's like my only hope. This match is like very likely going to be the second best match.
Yeah,
with or without Lio Rush.
Yeah, I think there's still a chance that this could be the match of the night. I mean, it has heavy competition. That 6-man, but
the 6-man haven't missed since the boys have won the titles.
Completely agree. But this is a good in competition for that. But yeah, no Lio Rush, huge disappointment. But sickness is a sickness, and Lio Rush is down. Lio Rush is down with it. And bringing in Yo, Yo has been great. I mean, you've enjoyed the Yo Hiromu match way more than I did, but I still thought it was still really good. Earlier this year, and Mike Bailey,
Yo can be great.
Agreed.
He's also kind of funny.
Who, Yo is kind of funny?
Yeah, I just remember his Best of Super Juniors. He went like into a whole new character, and he was kind of funny.
Oh yes.
He was entertaining, which I like. Yo, I like Speedball, I like Hiromu. It won't be bad.
No. I think there's a chance it's a 4.
And Speedball, I think, is best when he's in New Japan at this stage. So
I can agree with that. Feels like he's doing nothing in Impact.
Well, he's going to fight Ospreay.
Oh,
which is arguably just New Japan.
Good point. Great point. Even better point. Yeah, that's his. He's in his New Japan era, as it were. And of course, your main event, 10th match of the night, 60-minute time limit, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match, and of course, a lumberjack death match. We all know what that means. Sonata defending.
What?
It's a lumberjack death match.
It's a death match?
Lumberjack death match. So I don't know if it's a death match of light tubes and everything, or the lumberjacks have light tubes or something. I don't know what's happening here.
Hold on. This ended up being a death match. We could be going somewhere.
Yeah. So this says, let me see if I can find any other news about it. But that is what it says here. It says lumberjack death match. I do not know what that means.
I'll just put 5 stars on the docket now then.
I mean, in another news article about the press conference, they said lumberjack match. Next day's lumberjack match. The only thing I'm seeing lumberjack death match is on the actual match card. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a proper.
Oh man, there's a big difference between lumberjack and lumberjack death match.
Completely
You know
agree.
what the difference is?
A star?
I have no idea what lumberjack death match means, and that's exciting.
That's true. But it remains to be seen. Will Sonata be able to take his title back, or will Evil ruin the Tokyo Dome main event once again? Or maybe the first time, actually.
Again, he's never ruined it.
I was going to say, he's never ruined it before.
He's gonna
The worst review ever, Scott. He's gonna
review. It's a preview, buddy.
He's gonna and then trails off.
Sonata wins. I was reading something. Sorry. Sonata wins. And you know who doesn't win? Us.
Unless it's a lumberjack death match.
Unless it's a lumberjack death match, then I'm putting 5 stars in the docket.
That's it, baby. That's my real world champion.
I remember being excited about this New Japan show, and then I saw the card. I'm not excited about this at all. This is terrible.
And then you lose Lio Rush.
Oh.
Don't get him started, folks. Don't get him started.
My God. You know, we had some words about MJF earlier. We should just have words about Gato now. This dude, man, book a better show.
You've devolved exactly into how Rafe devolved on Okada shorts.
These dogs for real. These dogs for real stink.
You've devolved. This card has devolved you in the exact same way. It's fascinating to watch.
There's so much bad. No. Now I'm going on a tangent. Time out. Okay, ready? So you got Clark Connors and Joe Maloney, right? That's Bullet Club, right? You got Chase Owens. That's Bullet Club, right? I don't know how he's a dog for real, but he is. You got Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd. Those are the War Dogs, right? Bullet Club, right? Just say right.
Don't forget about House of Torture.
I'm not done.
Oh, my mistake.
You got David Finlay, the leader of Bullet Club. Oof. That's so sad to say out loud. And then he
took the spot.
Evil.
He took the spot from former leader Cody Rhodes, right?
Damn right. Oh, Evil. Why is this entire card Bullet Club?
Yeah, there's a lot of Bullet Club.
Everyone owes Jay White an apology.
Well, let's see if this card will get you excited. Royal Quest 3, October 14th, this Saturday. Again, get a Rev Pro subscription.
They kind of snuck up, huh?
Yeah, it kind of snuck up. Get a Rev Pro subscription. You can watch this show. Let's see if this excites you. El Desperado versus Trent Seven. Does that excite you?
Let's see if this excites you. Trent Seven. No. Nothing about Trent Seven excites me.
It could be good.
No.
I mean,
Michael Oku versus Trent Seven stunk. Actually, El Desperado is so infinitely better than Michael Oku.
Yeah. That's what
There's hope here, I guess.
That's what I mean. I think it's Despy, so it's going to be better.
The thing is, like, I just think Trent Seven's, like, bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
But El Desperado is so good that this might be decent. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I'm not looking forward to it, but I'll tell you this: probably better than David Finlay and Tama Tonga.
Probably,
because Desperado has a good hit rate.
Yeah, that's
Desperado loses though, I will lose my mind.
That's certainly true. Well, what about this one? Will this excite you? Yota Tsuji versus Luke Jacobs.
I think they just booked this for you. I think someone is listening to Ring Post Radio, and if you are, listen to the preview for Destruction Ryugoku 2023, please, so we can weed out the problems. As you're saying, or as I was saying, this match is literally made for you.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know what else is a more Ryan match.
Yeah.
Than Yota Tsuji and Luke Jacobs.
I've never been more excited in my life.
Like, if this match isn't amazing, Ryan might stop watch wrestling. Like, it might be over for Ryan. Like, this is like all of his investment.
Yeah. This is everything I've wanted and more.
All the stocks that I have, they're not wrestling each other. All the stocks that Ryan has put in.
No, you're don't forget, you're formally retired. Like, you're formally this is, you're continuing Ring Post Radio as an informal junction. Like, you formally retired after Mercedes Moné and my
That's true.
Utami.
That's true. I got what I wanted.
You got what you needed.
I still have a lot of stock in wrestlers though.
Sure.
I have a lot, but you have. If you had a certain amount of money to save for stocks, you have invested all of it in these two guys.
Yeah, 100%.
This is for Ryan, folks. This is the Ryan Knightsey Boy Howdy match of the year. Not the week, the year.
Yeah.
If this match isn't 4+ stars, he might retire. He might be done.
I'm gonna die.
A lot is riding on this.
Yeah. This match, I think this match will easily be 4+ stars. I think this match is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. I
hope for you it means Luke Jacobs is around New Japan more.
Oh, I 100% agree. I would love if this is just a formalizing deal for Luke Jacobs to formally come into New Japan. And he's set up quite well. Obviously, Ishii, fantastic match at Rev Pro's anniversary show. But now you throw in Yota Tsuji, a guy who's been doing great work in New Japan.
Who's infinitely better than Tomohiro Ishii.
And well, I wouldn't want to say infinitely better, but I can agree with that for right now. And kind of also like Ishii to a certain extent, but even more recent, a Rev Pro guy in Yota Tsuji. That was his excursion spot. If we forget.
I don't think anyone wants to be called a Rev Pro guy.
I'm called a Rev Pro guy. So Yota Tsuji,
you call Shota Umino a Rev Pro guy, I will kill you.
My point here being is that Yota Tsuji, I'd have to look into it, but I would imagine they have had matches in the past, so they have some chemistry already established. So I mean, this should be good. I don't see any reason why this shouldn't be good, man.
Yota Tsuji's 30.
Yes, he is 30. He is.
Dude's running out of time.
He was born September 8th, 1993. He had one match
with Luke Jacobs in his career.
Okay, so this is the second?
Yes.
All right, well, I'll still take it. That's still an established thing.
Probably going to be a lot better this time.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Luke Jacobs, just come out, do the Ishii match again. Yota Tsuji, just be fantastic. I can't wait, man.
I believe he's 30. He's as old as Jay White and Will Ospreay.
Yeah, he's great, dude. I love Yota Tsuji. He's there.
He has to be great. He's old.
Yeah. Saying 30 is old.
He's a rookie at 30.
He's
How do we look at young lions when they come back? Like, are they rookies? Like, what the hell are they?
Yeah, they're rookies. They're not green, but they're rookies.
Yeah. Well,
what's above a cadet? I don't know. Military things.
What matters is that Yota Tsuji and Shingo are probably winning tag league.
Yeah, I think that's plausible. I think it's certainly plausible. I think it would make sense for Yota Tsuji to get a title and do it with Shingo.
Big tag team wrestler that Yota Tsuji is.
Now, also, speaking of Yota Tsuji, what are the odds Yota Tsuji gets the win here? Initially, you want to say high.
She'll be 100.
She'll be 100. This is unsigned Luke Jacobs. Yota Tsuji never gets a win. And, if you want to push a new guy, New Japan, Luke Jacobs getting a win over Yota Tsuji.
That's so bad.
Yeah, no. I think Yota Tsuji's
talking about this guy. You want him to be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and then you shit him with the thing is, he never wins.
That's his thing.
Which is true.
That's his thing. He never wins. Let's look up his New Japan.
What's your secret?
What's it?
I always lose.
This guy, match statistics. That's what I want. I want
ain't no better real than Yota Tsuji.
In New Japan Pro Wrestling, this guy has a 20% win rate.
I mean, I know a lot of them are Young Lion matches, but he's been back for a while.
Yeah,
I think that should be a little bit higher.
If we make it all singles matches, it's 24%.
Oh my god!
Just in New Japan, and that's all time. So it does include his Young Lion matches, but that's
so bad.
That's pretty.
I feel like he should have gotten like a lot higher by now. Yikes!
Yeah, that's.
I still think he wins, but woof.
That's pretty low.
If he loses to Luke Jacobs, I actually think it's time to wrap up the Yota Tsuji World Championship hype for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
Yota Tsuji just like happens to be the guy that Gato actually doesn't like.
Yeah, I like Yota Tsuji, and I want him to get a win. 30-minute time limit, 6-man tag here. I thought it was a 6-man tag. I thought this got split off into like a strong openweight title match, but maybe I was wrong.
No, it's Eddie and Hanare are doing that at Fighting Spirit Unleashed.
That's what it was. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Eddie Kingston, and Michael Oku against Hanare, Jeff Cobb, and TJP. So you would think maybe Hanare picks up the win, the pinfall over Michael Oku, or maybe Tanahashi. That Tanahashi likes Hanare. That's never out of the question. It's just a heat up their Fighting Spirit Unleashed match against Eddie Kingston. You're looking at me dead in the eyes on the Zoom. Hanari's picking up the win. The United Empire has to get the win. They're building up Fighting Spirit Unleashed.
Michael Oku.
It should be Oku. The only reason I say Tanahashi is because he has pinned Tanahashi in G1s in the past.
Yeah, However, it's disgusting to think that Tanahashi's the pin eater in this match.
Well, Oku's also a champion for Rev Pro.
I don't care. I don't care. Oku stinks. You're trying to work me up. I can tell because you're trying to get me to say, oh yeah, Tanahashi should get pinned. No, he shouldn't.
I think there's an outside chance. I'm saying that legitimately, not as a working.
I agree.
I think
unfortunately,
I'll say 25% chance Tanahashi gets the pin or eats the pin.
It might be even higher than that.
Yeah, I think it also might go higher than that.
Which is very sad.
40% chance Tanahashi eats the pin.
Yeah, I think it's a good percentage. This is a match for sure.
Next match.
This is a match. I will watch it. Oh,
I'm watching this whole show.
There's only 5 matches.
Yeah,
Isn't Naito on this show?
No, not right now.
They announced him though.
They did.
All right.
I assume we will have maybe more matches announced after Destruction Ryogoku. I don't know. Right. I don't know what for, but maybe.
You're right.
Special singles match here: Tomohiro Ishii versus Shingo Takagi. I don't think there's really much to preview here, other than it's Shingo versus Ishii. It's gonna be
big meaty men slapping meats.
Exactly. So it's that's the preview. Just play the Big E clip, and it should be good.
Yeah, I can't see this being bad.
Can't see it being bad. IWGP.
This is the first time they're doing it outside of Japan.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yes. It should be very good.
Twist.
Where's
Kosei Fujita? Where'd he go?
He's not announced.
He's out and about these days.
He's I saw him. He has an Australian tour coming up.
Oh, he's an Aussie.
Well, he is in TMDK after all.
That's true. Oi.
Ooh, just announced 13 minutes ago, AEW's Cash Wheeler dealing with an injury. Yeah, I saw that happen. I called it in our Wrestle Dream review.
Yes, you did.
Everyone's freaking out. Yeah. FDR losing the titles, and the Cash Wheeler's going to jail. They're all going to WWE. No, the guy's injured. He broke his rib probably.
Yeah. Destroyed his rib, and then they still proceeded to have
like the rest of the match
had him get tossed through the damn announce table.
Yeah,
shout out Big Bill one time.
I love Big Bill. He's great.
My tag team champion.
IWGP US/UK Championship. Will Ospreay defending his title against Zack Sabre Jr.
When's the last time they had this match?
Ooh, there's obviously not for the US title, but for the Rev Pro World title, they had it.
They have many.
2020.
Did they do a New Japan Cup?
Don't know.
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
2022.
All right.
Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Will Ospreay.
Oh,
remember that being very good.
Do you know where they are?
9.22 rating, and it got 5 stars from Dave Meltzer.
Of course it did. What is that's not a dig on Meltzer.
They also got 5 stars from Dave Meltzer in 2021 in their New Japan Cup match.
Yeah, they have a match a year at this point.
They also got 5 stars in their the match before that for the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight title at Rev Pro's High Stakes 2020.
So you're just telling me that they're
Wait, no, I just want to see how many 5 stars in a row they had. 4 and 3. Only 3 in a row.
What's the record between each other? Ospreay has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins across 16 matches. Ospreay is 7-16, dating back all the way to 2014. In SWE, the hunt is on. They had a bunch of matches.
Yeah, this should be good.
Yeah, this should be good. There's no reason.
Preview. Ospreay win.
Yeah. I guess there's a chance that Sabre could win, especially if Ospreay's leaving, and so it's why not just put over Sabre in the hometown of England?
Yeah, but they like to have the person that's leaving lose the title at the Kingdom.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like I think there's a chance Sabre could win here and win the title, but I think more likely it's Ospreay's losing the title at Wrestle Kingdom.
Fine by me.
Fine, perfectly fine by me. I accept that.
Will they get 5 stars? They're on a 3-match streak.
They've gotten 3 back-to-back 5-star matches.
Yep.
Exactly 5 stars?
Exactly 5, never more.
I think they'll get 5 stars. I think the only way they don't get 5 stars is if they go above it.
If they get 5 stars, that means Ryan gives it a solid 4.
How dare you? How dare you call me out like this? How dare you, sir?
Am I right?
No, I'll probably give it. Well, no,
We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
If Dave gives it 5 stars, I probably give it 4 3/4 and was a baby. But no, if Dave gives Yota Tsuji and Luke Jacobs like a 4.5, I gave it a 5.
What did Dave give Jay White versus Okada?
What's up?
What did he give Jay White versus Okada?
What, Dave or me?
I know what you gave it.
Yeah, I gave it 5, baby.
That happened
this year, and I have no memory of that match.
That's crazy.
Immediately puts into question of like, is that a 5-star? I have no memory.
He gave it.
That felt like a lifetime ago.
He gave it 4.5.
I'm trying to that's the thing. I'm trying to remember right now all the matches and
that you watched.
All the matches I watch, key moments in all these matches.
Uh-huh.
Give me a match and let's see if I can, because I feel like if I remember a key moment, enough key moments this far out, then
any match?
Yeah, give me any great match.
Okay. I wasn't prepared. Give me a second.
Give me any great match, and let me see if
Bryan Danielson versus Bandito.
I don't remember anything from that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't either.
Yeah,
that's why I said it. Roosh versus Bryan Danielson.
I remember everything. That match ruled.
I think that's like your only 5-star match, and you didn't give it 5 stars.
I think I did 4 3/4 or something like that.
Someone tells me you should probably give that one the 5 if you remember everything about it.
Yeah. I remember some stuff from Forbidden Door Omega Ospreay.
That's good.
About that. Tiger Driver's the biggest distinction.
That's awesome. I mean, that's more recent.
So I honestly don't remember anything from the first match at Wrestle Kingdom 1.
That's crazy.
I don't remember anything.
Something tells me you don't remember Wrestle Kingdom. You don't remember the other match.
That Wrestle Kingdom, to be fair, does feel like a lifetime ago. That feels so long ago. So much has changed between now and then.
That's true. I will give you that. I mean, Sonata's the main eventer now, so
yeah, it feels like New Japan's rapidly changed since that point in time.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So I don't remember anything from it. But yeah, I have to rewatch Jay White and Okada, see if it truly deserves the 5, or if I'm giving no 5 stars. We've got to rewatch some stuff before the end of the year. Well, that's it for the show, if you can believe it. Scotty, give me some plugs. Where can people find you? What have you been enjoying recently? Match of the week. Tell the people. Tell the people your stuff.
You can find me nowhere. You
can find them nowhere at nowhere.com.
You can find me on X, Twitter. What's it called? At Scott E Wrestling.
You forgot your own handle, my guy.
Sure did. It's been a rough morning. I'm hungry, tired.
Do you not eat breakfast?
I work with fucking children.
Well, hold on.
I felt like I was going. No, I'm sorry. I just felt like I had to finish it off the right way. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean that, Ryan.
No, it's fine. You're good.
It's a long weekend though, so that's nice.
That's true. Oh, is it?
I only slept. For me, it is.
Oh.
I only slept like 6 hours. There's Stardom pay-per-view tomorrow.
There is.
I'm gonna be up for that. There is.
Oh, we should preview that. What are we doing here?
And then it's Kyrie's last match before he goes back to the Fed.
Upcoming events. Nagoya Golden Fight. Yeah, I had no idea the show was happening. There's
a lot of Japan shows tomorrow, like big because it's a holiday.
Yeah. I had no idea there was a Stardom show. We should have previewed that.
Well,
Golden
too bad.
Fight.
I'm wrapping myself up. If you want to hear me review that show, you can listen to one of my mini podcasts and I'll talk about it. I'll be tweeting about it. I'll be watching that live. So follow me at Finale Wrestling on Twitter, like I said. Match of the week.
It's like there's an off chance that we could review it next week, but I'm also looking at Destruction Ryogoku, Royal Quest 3, previewing Impact Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Go ahead.
I love how they say that. Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory.
What was my match of the week? We reviewed Wrestle Dream, so I can't pick from there. You know, pick Tommaso Ciampa and Gunta. Didn't think I would be bringing up Tommaso Ciampa this week, but here we are. I didn't watch a lot of wrestling this week.
That's good.
I kind of just took the week off for once.
That's smart.
Yeah, a little out of it. Getting back into it. No better way to get back into wrestling than FASTLANE.
I've always said that. I've always said there's no better way than getting back into wrestling the FASTLANE. Patreon.com/countoutpod. We've been releasing some stuff. I'm recording another episode of the Great Birthday Bash. I want to say on Tuesday, with Lauren of Your Dose of Death. But I have an episode already in the can. We were going to put it out last week, but there was some scheduling stuff. So I'm going to put it out this week. I'm probably going to put it out tomorrow, actually. The Great Birthday Bash with Mikey Manfredi. So check out patreon.com/countoutpod.
I don't know why, but I was just saying Mikey Nichols.
Mikey with Mickey Nicks. You follow me on Twitter at Ryan Icy, follow Scotty at Scotty Wrestling, follow the whole show at CountOutPod. If you had any thoughts or conversation about this show that you want to let us know about, or any questions for us, leave us a voicemail at 2525 ring PR. Again, that is 2525 ring PR. Hold up your phone, type in that stuff, and you can leave a voicemail. Again, 2525 ring PR. 2525-746477. 2525
stuff, baby.
2525 ring PR. Patreon.com/countoutpod. They got Patreon's updated a bunch of stuff. You can do like a 7-day trial. You can listen to all the audio via Spotify now, which is huge. They just added a thing called collections where you can just like, hey, I want to listen to I want to watch every single episode of Ryan Hasn't Seen Anything. Well, you go to the collections page, I guess, on our Patreon, and there is an entire like folder of every single Ryan Hasn't Seen Anything that you and I have put out. So it makes it way easier to sort of catalog and look for specific shows that we've put out on the Patreon. Again, patreon.com/countoutpod. My match of the week is going to be Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson for the AEW International title. I thought that was great. I loved it. I thought the selling was fantastic from both of the men, and I thought it was just a showcase of growth in them as wrestlers in terms of psychology and all that stuff from their match roughly 4 years ago, which was huge high spot stuff.
That match 4 years ago.
Every once in a while, I remember it.
But you can't remember Jay White versus Okada.
No,
that's crazy.
And I stick to it, folks. But
at least you're consistent.
I'm consistent. I remember that it was an improvement in terms of like wrestling ability from these two guys from 4 years ago. Great high flying match from 4 years ago, but here they are putting on still another one, but still very elevated psychological leg selling match. So I thought that was and shoulder blade selling match. I thought it was very very great.
Elevated.
Dun 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 dun. Dun.
Sorry.
We both had the same exact idea. That is it for this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. We'll be back next week. I think we'll be back next Sunday. Next Sunday for an all-new episode of Ring Post Radio. Talking, like I said, Destruction Ryogoku, Royal Quest 3, Impact Bound for Glory, possibly Nagoya Golden Fight. And that might be it that we'll be talking about next week. But we have a bunch of stuff in store for you. And before we go, we may have a bonus episode that I have to confirm with Scotty. before we go, because I don't think we nailed down the date, or at least I don't have the date written down on my calendar.
Oh,
okay. But we'll talk about that. But we may or may not have a bonus episode coming out at some point in the coming weeks. So if you want to make sure you listen to that bonus episode, because it won't be live streamed, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts. So Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. Subscribe to it so you can make sure to hit that bonus audio when it plops into your ear holes some point in the coming weeks, assuming it's happening. I think that's it. Yeah, plops. That's the medical term. Plops in your ear holes, as the band Funkadelic once said. That is it for this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. We'll see everyone next week.